my dad got me drunk for the first time in my life. It was a confusing kind of drunk. My visit to the bathroom now made far more complicated by figuring out which one of these three blurred objects might actually be the toilet. Then, with legs bent, head cocked down, hands wide enough to barely hold myself up, I pleaded with God so desperately that bathroom could have been mistaken for a confessional, and the Pope himself, seated on that throne the way I knelt before begging for any sort of absolution. Long story short, I puked. A lot. My dad later explained that he wanted me so messed up the first time I drank that I would never forget the feeling of when not even God can keep your head from spinning. The lesson of that night stayed with me for as long as it took to figure out this one thing. A few drinks is the perfect equation for a lifelong battle with sleeplessness, but when all you do is add, your math slowly begins to fail, and when you see your evenings subtract the sheep to count whiskey bottles stripped of their insides, remembering it has a way of figuring out how to forget where you came from. I had now stared at the world, glossy-eyed and distorted through the thick end of a damp glass as regularly as the blink of an eye passes without a thought, all poker face and blood sugar spike. I bluffed depression into believing it could never deal suicide. If you told me I could drink myself to death, I would have laughed you under the table. And I did. Split my sides like the legs of my chair. Breath knocked out of me on the kitchen floor, now rising to mix with the smell of vodka in the air. Days hash marked with empty gallon bottles on the walls of the smallest jail cell. Weeks replaced like alcohol for blood content. Months, a month spending every part of every day stretching my veins like cheap canvas. Now taut and exploding black and blue Rorschach on skin painted dark enough for bruises to get lost in my sheets. Now ruffling with the sounds of eulogies twisted into the shape of cold and broken ground, a grave to any memory of that September month which could not go gently, just surrendered itself to whatever dark night might have it. 13 of the darkest, coldest nights of my life. The first of the coma predicted by the doctors to be the last. The curious desperation of my mother and sister, the only thing to find a hole in the screen on the porch door large enough to peel open and untwist the bed sheets, growing louder with story by the hour. The lifeless float upon oceans of their tears, their fists shaking at death, tremoring to be peeled open like heavy eyelids. When you are this quiet for this long, your mind finally has a chance to listen. I heard my father's words echoing against the tallest walls. He said, "Once you smile, it's this messed up. Not even God can keep you from laughing."